What's up, guys? I just wanted to do a quick video today, or not a quick video, this is going to be a long video, on Cyberpunk difficulty curve and character builds, and why they don't matter, really. They don't matter. None of this matters. It's all just fluff. And I like the game. I really do like Cyberpunk. I've played like 300 hours testing and just doing different strategies, seeing how the mechanics work and the storyline, which is really good. The gameplay itself is fun. I'm not trying to put down the gameplay. I'm just mainly talking about the different builds you can go and the difficulty scaling, which is basically just you're going to take more damage at higher difficulties. That's what it comes down to. The enemies aren't smarter. The AI doesn't get any more technical. There's nothing like interesting that happens when you turn the difficulty up other than the enemies hit harder. And that can be negated by really simple techniques. So yeah, like a lot of people I've seen, like on the Cyberpunk groups, I've seen people posting about go the reflexes build. I want an assault blade ninja, or I just use a powered handgun, or use the tech weapons, or go a street brawler build. I can be a street brawler at level 3 with no points invested in it. That's how OP it is. I can use tech weapons, which are normally in technical ability for engineering, like the actual. All these extra stats are god mode level of broken. They're not necessary to make you strong at the game. They're not necessary to beat the game or to have an easy time killing enemies. These just make you more than OP. They make you over, like, to put it lightly, all the different playstyles you can take are OP by default. So just pretend they're all, you've got all stats level 20 or all stats level 3. What's going to matter more is your weapons and how like, as long as you've kept them upgraded or you've picked up new weapons as you play through the game. So if you kill enemies and you see like an upgrade and you grab it, doing that kind of gameplay and maybe throwing in a manual upgrade here and there is enough to make you match the content you're fighting, even if you don't put any points in anything. That's what I mean by the builds are kind of fluff. Like, they're not that important. They'll make you more powerful, no doubt. They'll make you more powerful, but you're already OP without them. And that's where I just wanted to share this info, because I've played 300 hours, tested all the different stuff, and I'll tell you what it mainly comes down to with the different attributes. Other than the like really weak mechanics of 5 more health points per point of body, or a little bit more crit chance, because you can max crit chance out without putting any points in reflexes, or having more crit damage and resistance, or better stealth, supposedly increased stealth damage. Like, other than the raw damage increases, which will help you maybe kill enemies a little bit faster, it's going to matter more that you just keep your weapons up to date and upgraded, or, you know, through your crafting. And that's where it actually does make a difference. That's where these attribute points or your build will make more of a difference. It'll make the biggest differences in your crafting and engineering, because those mechanics are locked out of the game. Like, you can't craft without components, and you can't get lots of components without going into technical ability and grabbing mechanic. And you can't craft lots and lots without, well, you could if you played long enough, but basically, like, you can't craft, for example, rare items without going into true craftsman, and I can't access legendary without getting my crafting, my technical ability to level 18. That is the biggest difference you'll have from doing a customized build. So, for example, if someone was going into a ninja build with blades and they're like grabbing all these points because they feel it's going to make them the best ninja blade killer possible, yes, it will. It'll make you strong, but you're already going to be strong even if you don't put points in here. You can already kill people with a blade if you don't put points in here. You can already take enemies out on very hard difficulty as long as you keep your blade upgraded without putting any points into the actual tree. But if you don't put points into technical ability and you can't upgrade your stuff, you're going to suck. Your blade's going to be weak. You're not going to be able to keep it upgraded. Your armor's going to be low. So basically, technical ability is like one of the core abilities that's worthwhile to put points into. And if you put points into the other stuff, because you can max out more than one, you're just going to be more than OP at it. So you're going to be like super, super OP instead of just normal OP. And if you put points into body for a street brawler build, you're just going to make it too easy to use your fists, while it's already easy not putting points into it. And I think the main differences, apart from not being able to craft, so your technical ability is important from crafting, is opening doors, and hacking doors. So these two will help you open doors, like level 9 body, level 9 technical ability, and level 9 intelligence. I think there's some higher ones that you might need, but you can also get gorilla arms, cyberware if you have a lot of money, and that's where making money comes in. So secondary to crafting is to keep your gear upgraded and to buy cyberware, which does make you stronger. You also need high intelligence to, well, not high intelligence, but you want to, at the very least, grab extended network interface and advanced data mine, because that doubles your income from hacking, and this lets you see where all the access points are to hack. You don't actually need any of this other stuff. It will help you be a more effective hacker, so you can cast your hacks quicker. They'll chain to enemies. They're also OP, but you also don't necessarily need to invest tons of points to be strong at quick hacking, because quick hacking can be done from behind a wall, basically, if you have the right cyberware. And there's no restriction. Like, you can wear cyberware from having high street cred. That's the main, like, lock behind the good cyberware. Having points in here will help with your cyberware regeneration, especially when taking down enemies. But the cyberware itself, like having a good cyber deck, like this one here, is pretty decent. That's going to matter more than how many points you pump into the perk. So, again, like, it's not a big deal if you don't put tons of points in intelligence. It's just enough to get more money. And having more money, which lets you buy better cyberware. And, for example, being able to buy this was more important than having all the perks. Because if you have all the perks and you're running a weak cyber deck with only three mod slots, you're not going to be able to do much. And these skills are on global cooldowns, which, yes, they're contagious, but hacking is a much slower form of gameplay by default compared to melee and ranged combat. Like, you can take out a whole group of enemies in half the time it takes you to hack them at lower levels. If you're a high-level hacker, you can actually take out enemies in one cast if they're grouped up. But again, you still have some cooldowns to deal with, and it's also easy, though. It's not like you're going to be weak if you don't put points into it. As long as you get a decent cyber deck to actually have a selection of abilities to choose from, probably the most important one is just having ping. And there's like a legendary ping that lets you hack through walls, which makes you OP. And as long as you can equip and get that, and you have a decent cyber deck to cast it, you can take out groups of enemies as well. So again, it's not really crucial to max out your intelligence. It doesn't really matter in terms of it, other than the making money, and where that makes a big difference, having data mine and extended network interface. And there's not tons of different hacks. There's not actually that many in the game. So even the crafting is not necessarily that important, but at the same time, you cannot craft and upgrade all your hacks together. Like, for example, I've got my hack crafting for cyberware mods at rare, so I can craft rare. And when I upgrade it to, if I can find it in here, sure, it was one of the abilities. Was it under quick hacking? Maybe it was under quick hacking. Somewhere here, Hacker's Manual let me get uncommon, and I think there's one that lets me, wherever it is, craft legendary. So if I don't get Bartmoss Legacy perk, which is level 20 intelligence, that would be the main limitation on my quick hack damage. And as well as being able to get the items themselves, where it's actually going to be really rare to find legendary quick hacks. So if I just want to be able to get legendary quick hacks, which will increase the damage fast, I need to go into Bartmoss Legacy so I can craft them. So again, like, just like with your gear and upgrading your gear and keeping it up to date for guns and blades, intelligence is the same for hacking. So these two are really similar in the sense that you're locked out of getting lots of legendaries and keeping your gear and your hacks upgraded if you don't spec into them. But these aren't important. The cool, the body, and the reflexes. Like, sorry to say, like, you don't need to go into blades to be a strong blade master or to be a strong handgun user. You don't actually need handgun perks. They're just like, they make you faster and feel stronger, but they're not necessary for the game balance. And you'll actually have more enjoyment of having them weaker, because they're still OP. They're not like insanely weak if you don't put points in them, compared to not being able to hack much or not being able to craft much, or open certain doors or hack certain doors. Like, if I put points in the body, it wouldn't be for the perks. It would be the open doors. That would be the biggest difference you get to your gameplay, and the rest of it is just going to help with making you OP and quality of life, like, you know, having your health regen to max outside of combat is just like QOL, and carry capacity is QOL. But most of the other stuff will just make you more OP, like having tons of health from max health 10 invincible is just going to make you literally invincible. It's going to make the gameplay too easy. So, and this is coming from a player that cleared the game on very hard, and I'm on, I don't know which character, I've got like multiple different test characters running, and I'm up to level 10. I haven't ridden with Dex at all, and I was actually testing this not as a, for what I'm describing now. The reason I made this build is because I wanted to try to do a quick aggro build to see how balanced it was compared to melee and guns, which felt really strong when I spec'd into them. And that's how I figured out the balance issues. So just to share it with everybody, I've already explained that for 11 minutes, and hopefully you just skip forward if you just wanted the demonstration. But basically, check this out. If you use aim assist, then that's even more reason not to spec into melee, because your time in the game is just gonna be so easy if you use aim assist. I'm not using aim assist, and it's on very hard, so I take high damage from the enemies, which doesn't really matter with the way the game's balanced. And yeah, this is my character. I haven't invested anything except for into intelligence, for some hacking and data mining, which mainly the data mining, and I've got some slight damage boosts here. And I just did that to try to make the hacking faster because of the cooldowns involved at low level. So unless you have a lot of high level damage quick hacks, you kind of just have to cast it, let it deal damage, and wait before you can cast it again, and just hide somewhere. Unless you're going to switch to your gun or your sword, you literally just have to hide and wait for cooldowns and RAM regeneration. And if the enemies die, you'll get RAM back and you can cast quicker. And so that'll affect the speed at which you clear a group of bad guys. So other than that, you can see my stats: 21 crit chance, 133 crit damage. The base crit damage is like 100 by default. My armor's just from, I'll show you. This is the gear that I've grinded from literally just doing a lot of blues, and then once my street cred leveled up, it unlocked more content. And then once my character leveled up, like, I have not ridden with Dex, and I've still got like a lot of all this stuff that's just popped up. Like, you're not actually that limited other than by your street cred and your level to get more content. Because I remember one of my first playthroughs, I didn't grind much, and I did all the blues around this area, but I didn't level up high enough street cred from it, and I thought I was done. I'm like, oh, I've got to ride with Dex now. And now I've gone up to level 10 with 23 street cred, and I've got like way more than the first attempt. I've actually been able to just continue grinding. I don't even, like, I'm level 10, and I'll probably get to level 20 doing side content before I ride with Dex and continue the main story. And at first I was thinking I had to ride with Dex to unlock more quests, and it doesn't seem to be that way. It's like, a lot of these will just respawn, like, after a certain amount of time, they'll pop back up, the blue ones, and then the gigs and stuff, so you can just continue grinding on those if you want, and then the gigs and stuff will actually unlock more as you level up. So yeah, you can see my gear. I've got Overture. I found this, I've upgraded it twice. It's got a silencer, so the damage should be nerfed. And I've got, you know, my Ajax, which, this is one that I found, but the main reason I use it was for, this, like, I had a weaker one that I found this on the last gig I did. But the main reason I use this is just for the quests that said don't kill anyone, like for Cyber Psychos. I'll use it for the last bit of damage. And then I've got the OP Nikomata, which I saved tons of money for, and basically bought it because it had lots of mod slots, but then I realized I haven't got many mods to put in it that I want to use. Like, none of this is really that powerful. And then I don't, because I haven't spec'd into the high enough technical yet, I can't get mods back from dismantling, so that's why. But literally, I've made almost all my money from selling everything that I get. And dismantling all the cheap stuff. Like, see, these shoes are only worth 22, I dismantle stuff like that. If I have a ton of weapons, I'll dismantle almost all of them unless they're worth 100. And I sell all my junk. I haven't got the auto dismantle junk, and I was able to just grind this level of gear. And you can see how much money I've got. I've even bought like a bunch of cyberware from just grinding. So I've got the reinforced tendons. You can see it's not all like max level stuff because I'm limited by my level and what I can equip. But subdermal armor is probably the biggest one that's helping me in cyberware, along with having a bit more extra health. And the rest is not really that important because I tend to not hack that much because of the cooldowns involved at level 10. Maybe the legendary quick hacks will have faster cooldowns because I didn't focus on quick hacking with my level 50 character. But there's nothing in here, like maybe that bionic joints, I can't remember which Ripper doc sold me that. And this is the biggest difference that I saved up for. It was like 35k to get the Arasaka MK3, and then I crafted all the mods. Like I already had green ones and I upgraded them to rare. But you get ping really early. So now I'm going to show you what I mean about the game balance. So now you've seen what I'm up to. I've grinded to level 10. The game is supposed to scale with your character level, right? So the content scales. And if it's easy content, there's no way to tell the actual level of the content, but it's down to easy, which of course should be easy. And then you'll get, like, you can't even see which of these are easy. But with gigs, you can see moderate, moderate. These are all moderate gigs for my level. So they should be a challenge, basically, because I put the difficulty to very hard, right? And then sometimes I'll come across a few red hard skulls if I travel far enough out. And they should be really hard, but I've also found that they can be defeated. Yeah. So you can see my guy, you can see my gear. I've got crit damage on my motorcycle cap that I've kept with me. It's 8.9 armor. So just keep in mind, guys, like I have lots of armor, but it's only because I've upgraded some stuff. I'm not like running a tricked out, you know, uber character with uber gear. This is just stuff that I've picked up. So yeah, 17.6 armor. 29. The best thing on these boots is because it had an armadillo. That's why I haven't changed it over to these ones yet, because I can't get that armadillo out. And yeah, there's nothing overly powerful. It's just the guns that I've managed to keep up to date. And the Nekomata, which I bought, it was in the dock somewhere. There was a gun vendor selling it. And when I saw that it was legendary, I'm like, oh yeah, this weapon shop here sold it. But yeah, so basically I've just been exploring and grinding. And that's what I'm using, but if I use this gun, the game becomes a cakewalk, and I haven't even invested anything into engineering to make it stronger. Like, there's actually ways to make it stronger than what it is. Ignore armor, fully charged, do not shoot automatically, which would just make it too easy to use. And more damage, fully charged, 50% more damage, faster charge. Like, it's just all this stuff makes it so OP that if I was to spec into it, it would remove any challenge left in the game from playing on very hard. And I'm on very hard. Like, if very hard was actually hard, and the AI was much smarter, and they called in backup, and they did more, I don't know, technical maneuvers other than the quick dash into your face, which is rather just more annoying than anything else. If it was technically harder, then I would spec into these trees. But because it's not balanced, I don't need to spec into them. So yeah, I'm going to just demonstrate now. So let's just pretend I'm not actually going to use my hacking. That's what I've spec'd into for this character. So just pretend that I don't have high-level hacking and I don't have a powerful cyber deck. I'm going to only use ping and then use a combination of ranged and brawling combat at level 3 body, okay? So I've grinded to level 10. I haven't pumped anything into these abilities, even into stealth. So my stealth should suck. My street brawling should suck. And my handguns, all this should be mediocre compared to my hacking. And now I'm going to just show you what it's like. I'm on the quest for Huangbo with the enemies in here. It's a moderate quest, Flight of the Cheetah. You'd be familiar with it. And
if you don't want to eat lead.
There's an enemy over there. I'll just use low-level hacks. So ping. That's the only one I'm going to use. And first I'll show you, like, if you don't already know how OP tech weapons are. First, I'll show you the tech weapons on someone standing still. Yeah, this is on very hard with no aim assists. So, very hard, no aim assists. I don't even remember upgrading this gun. Like, you guys have probably found, like, I had a green gun that did the same damage. The only difference is this has more mod slots, which I'm not even using because I haven't found good mods yet. But this is basically the how difficult the gameplay is on very hard difficulty. Like, what is this? I only use ping, and I've got no points in range, and this is meant to be moderate encounter. Oh, let's see, I even missed a few shots. Let's see, he's coming for me. So, you know, like, what's the point? Like, why would I spec into, where is it? The one for rifles. I think it's, is it assault that helps with rifles? Yeah, rifles. So, increased damage with rifles. Defeating an enemy makes me reload faster, so I don't even have to kite. Like, this is all just super OP stuff. It's not stuff you need. It's just reduces recoil with rifles. 25% damage for high health enemies, so I one-shot them easier. One thing I forgot to mention is that, yeah, having money was the key part. The other thing that boosts my damage is Kuroshi Cyber Optics with this trajectory analysis sold by Vic, which I grinded for. It was one of the first things I bought that probably made everything easy. So maybe this particular mod is OP because Vic sells it, and I think it was unlocked at like level 9, level 8 or 9. But I was already breezing through the game before that. Like, this is how most fights went if I used this gun. And yeah. So grind for this early if you don't want to worry about having to go into a tree. Just get the headshot bonus damage and then threat detector. They're like probably the two best mods you can get for eyesight, for ocular. And you don't even need to get Kuroshi Optics MK3 for it, but it's pretty cheap. Like, it's not that expensive. So now that I've shown you that, like, I'm sure some of you are going, oh, you've just shown something that's known to be OP. I'll show you more. Okay? I'm not just going to leave it at testing overpowered tech rifle. I'll show you other weapons, and I'll show you the pistol. And I think the trajectory analysis, the legendary that I bought is probably not expensive. It's like 20k. It's not even that expensive to grind for. But I'm level 10, and this is very hard difficulty, so I was expecting it to be harder, I guess. Or I was expecting, because I haven't invested in more crit damage and attributes for it, I was expecting to be weak at the skills that I didn't spec into. Well, the first playthrough I maxed these out. Like, I was trying to be really OP on purpose to focus on brawling and focus on reflexes, because, like, you know, handguns increases your crit chance and all that. But anyway, I'll do it again with a different weapon. So, and maybe, I don't know if I can remove my... Yes, I can. I'll just put in another threat detector, just to show that maybe that legendary is OP. But either way, it's something you can acquire really early in the game if you grind for it. So either they should lock that to a higher level, or it shouldn't be available, because it makes the game too easy. But let's see. So I've taken away the headshot bonus damage, and does it reflect in my stats? Not really. It's still fairly high crit chance from gear that I've found. So still able to one headshot these yellows. Reds are hard. Like, if they hit you with 2 bullets, you'll die. But it's only because of the scaling, like the damage scaling on a red. But on moderate, I expected it to be much harder when I don't spec into stealth. I've got no points in cool to make my stealth better. Oh look, they're gonna find me now. So here's the melee guy coming up. Now this is what some of you are probably waiting for. Body. How important is body for your brawling at level 10 facing a moderate enemy? I've fully spec'd into cyberware, and I've got no gorilla fists. There's maybe that will help biomonitor, but not much of this. Maybe the armor, but that's a cyberware, you know, that's not even to do with the body attribute necessarily. My body's level 3, so yeah, none of these really help me with melee combat. My gear doesn't really help. It's only the fact that I've kept my gear upgraded. Not really upgraded, actually. This is pretty low level gear. My pants are not upgraded. This tank top's pretty good for the 15 crit chance. But yeah, nothing too special. You can tell, like, this doesn't boost my fist damage. I can't fist people easily from having 3 body and nothing in it. So yeah, see how this is supposed to make your body stronger? If I can take out this enemy at level 10 with 3 body and no points invested in it, I'll see how, like, I already beat the Kabuki twins like this with 3 body. And I'm going to go through the whole, I'm not going to put any points in, and I'm not going to buy Gorilla Fists, and I'm going to see how hard it gets to do the rest of the Kabuki fights once I've unlocked them. But yeah, it's kind of like, it's to prove a point of the scaling and the balance of the game. If you don't need it, why put points into it? I would mainly just focus on your unlocking doors, which is these 3 to like level 10 or level 9. And then your crafting and your mods if you want a quick hack. If you don't want a quick hack, don't even worry about it. Just put these in for fun, but you don't actually need to worry that much about how strong you'll be at the end. Because as long as you craft and keep your gear updated, that's what's going to matter. And you have money. So this will help you get money for hacking, because that's the only other source of extra money. You don't get extra money from any of these other 3 trees. Your extra money is only going to come from the data mining and hacking. And taking out enemies, obviously. But you can do that even without investing in these. So here we go. This guy's got a sword or whatever, and, you know, have a dedicated dodge key, but it's so mediocre. Like, there's a guy behind us. Wait, sorry. You can see how much damage I did from just power attacking and punching. The other guy's shooting at me. Sorry. Wait, I'm gonna have to heal. How did I teleport? Oh wait. Yeah, see that? That was like 3 hits, and these are yellow enemies. I'll heal up from fighting this guy, because he's got a gun. Let's kick it in the right. And, you know, my stamina is limited because I don't have high stamina. But, you know, you normally need, like, lots of perks to, like, I mean, you don't normally need it, but I thought you needed it to be strong at that combat. So you just saw, I fisted those 2 guys. I punched those 2 guys. And did so much damage with my fists. And I don't even have Gorilla Fists. And they're supposed to be moderate difficulty. And my stats are base. This is base stats. So when they scale, like, this is the best I can make of it. When the enemies scale to your level, I can't even understand. Like, what are they scaling to? What is scaling? Is it just the damage to scaling, but they've just got like a fixed amount of HP? Or what is it? Because my damage hasn't scaled. Like, I haven't... Or is my damage scaling from my base character level and not my body? Is there damage scaling that has just gone up? My physical damage is 30. And I have no bonus damage against moderate threat enemies. You can even get stronger and get bonuses against high and moderate threat. But it's just really weird how this game scales. Like, that's what I wanted to share with everyone. Is it makes no sense to me. I shouldn't be able to just punch high level or moderate difficulty NPCs with such a weak body level and do so much damage. So fists are OP, pistols are OP if you keep them upgraded, tech weapons are OP, and you don't even need to build into them. If you're worried about what you're going to be able to do in the game, you're brawling, and I mean your body. It's only opening doors and being able to craft hacks and data mine. That's the big ones. Data mining for more money and components, and crafting for more components and crafting and upgrading. But you don't even need any of this stuff. It's all fluff. So I'm gonna play through. Like I'm gonna progress the main story real soon. I was just testing stuff out, and you know, it's some grinding obviously, but looking at my gear, I'm not. Like, even if I had like a bajillion eddies, this is the gear I'm wearing. It's nothing what I would call super good. And my fists aren't Gorilla. And my cyberware doesn't make my punches really strong. Like, I'm not using the Gorilla Fists, and that's the main difference to melee damage. None of this other stuff's helping. Having high armor helps, but I'm not doing more damage with my punches because of my armor. The damage is just pure damage from level 3 body. And the crit chance. Like, the crit damage there is 30%. Still not miles huge. And the crit chance, but as you can see, like, it's just 21% crit chance. I even took out the trajectory analysis and I was able to one-shot people still. It didn't really make a difference whether I had trajectory or not on my Kiroshi optics. I swapped it out to try to make it easier. I mean, harder. To try to make it harder to take those enemies out. And yeah, I could also quick hack them all and they'll die in a similar manner. It's just a little bit more QOL with the RAM regeneration, but the actual damage, if I just had a good cyber deck and low intelligence, I think it would be pretty close. Like, I don't think the damage stats from any of these are doing that much. Like, see how this is meant to increase my crit damage by 0.5% per level? I don't think it's any different to having this 3 damage increase with fists that I'm not using, or the crit chance from reflexes, or crit damage from cool. Like, because I'm not stacking points into these, I would expect that my inventory, the slight boost I'm getting from my gear is not going to make that much difference. So, I mean, there's one more thing I could try. If I load here, not too far back. I don't know if I already beat the enemies and saved or not. We'll see. Because this was at the bottom of the stairs, and I was looting. No, they're all gone. About this one. Where was this? This was from up on the balcony. Okay. So one more thing I can try to just make sure that it's not specific, because the gear's not a big deal, because you can find all this stuff. Like, you just grind a little bit, you'll find some crit damage gear. And it's only one mod, 2 clothing mods in total, some crit damage and crit chance. But I'll take them off, so my damage is even more nerfed. And I'll see what happens now. I still want to shoot the couple of enemies, and I want to make sure my trajectory analysis. I don't think that affects my fists anyway, but I still want to take out like a couple of these guys. But you can see I've got the less crit damage now, and I don't have. This is the weird thing. I don't have high level. I don't have high level pistols or stealth, and I was able to like take multiple shots if I had actually landed them, or if I was using auto aim, then it would just be too easy. Okay, wait, I want to do it in the room. No, around this corner. No, he hit me a couple times, but yeah. Wait. I will heal because wait. I mean, healing's not breaking the game, it's just a normal part. Everyone heals in combat, but I wanted to just see how strong my punches were to take out a... He's got full health here. Oh, there's 2 of them right there. Not you two. Sorry. Okay, I have to heal, but you can see how strong my punches are. I haven't quick hacked this guy with anything that should have damaged him. I only used weapon glitch. Come in here, dude. They come in. I'll get rid of one of them so I can have a fair fight. Ah. Okay. That's the one. Can't weapon glitch him again. Can I just walk up and punch him to death? He's got a machine gun. So, yeah, I've taken off. You can see my stamina running out much quicker, but no, it's not making a difference, really. But yeah, that's how strong my fists are at level 3 body. And I took off half my gear. So those people that are actually speccing into body and getting the stun bonuses and stuff, it's like, that's why the game's so easy and the fist combat is lackluster. I think those fist fights, like the beat on the Brat, would be so much more fun if you actually have to dodge because you can't stun them. Yeah, let's see what happens with this guy. Power attack him to death. It's not even mattering the stamina that much, is it? How much damage I'm doing. So yeah, now there's literally nothing I'm wearing that should give me a significant advantage. Do you see that? And very hard, off, off. So yeah, I did have to heal, but I was kind of face tanking because of the enemies coming up behind him. And you still have to be kind of smart, like, you have to not walk into enemy fire, like that's just a basic, and if you go your build to have the armor bonus on movement and stuff, you might be able to face tank a bit better with a katana build, for example. But if you use just a basic common sense playstyle where you don't take on 3 enemies at once in melee combat, unless they're all using melee weapons as well, you can pretty much play the same way whether you spec into those trees or not. It's not going to make the game significantly harder. I was expecting to be really weak, to be honest, because I spec'd into, not brawling, but I spec'd high into body in my first playthrough, and I spec'd into reflexes and cool, thinking these are going to make me stronger, and the game did feel pretty good. Like, it felt still like the same way it does now, basically. It's just I didn't expect it to still feel the same way when I didn't spec into them. I was expecting it to be harder. I was expecting my punches to be a lot weaker, as you'd expect. Like, I mean, look at it, it's level 3. And I'm level 10. So we'll see how that works when I get to the harder Kabuki fights, like, you know, those really jacked up cyborg dudes. But I'm not gonna, like, sugarcoat it and not wear my gear that I've picked up through grinding. Like, that's just making it even silly, because you should be able to keep your gear. It's just more to do with the trees themselves that are like, I don't need any of this. It's just the technical ability and intelligence that really affect the gameplay in terms of money, because you're even what you wear doesn't seem to matter that much. I probably could have done that naked, to be honest, because without the damage bonuses, the only thing that really matters is how much damage I'm going to take when I get hit, and that's to do with my armor, which I am wearing subdermal armor, but the damage I was dealing is the issue. I was dealing way too much damage for a level 3 body. The base damage is just super high, I'm guessing. And because it scales with my level to the enemies, it's like the scaling is off or something. They're just too easy. And my fists are like hitting them like, not like trucks, but hitting pretty hard. So, you know, maybe V's jacked by default. Like, does he look jacked in the inventory? Does he look really strong by default? And yeah, I'll sell stuff like, I've done so much grinding. I just sell all of this, and if it's like worth under maybe 40, I dismantle it. And I definitely sell all this clothing, not the top, the jackets. If you sell jackets, they're worth tons of money. And then I sell all my junk. So, you know, if you're looking for character build advice, don't get scrapper, because your expensive, valuable junk will get scrapped. And make sure you get extended network and advanced data mine for the income boost. So yeah, just wanted to share that. That was pretty much that quest done, and we've tested that thoroughly. I'll just put back on how I grinded. It's still OP without any handgun spec. Just find an overture and you'll be good.
If it wasn't for me, you'd be a stain on a motel floor.
So let's see here. Better drive him to meet these guys. Reset my FPS counter. So I've basically got my settings so that I can manage to get some decent aiming without the input latency from FPS drop affecting it too much. because if you're under like 30 FPS, it's way too hard to aim. There's too much input lag. High frame latency affects your mouse
Hey,
input
너
lag
별명 같은 거 없어?
really badly.
Nope.
Oh no. Oh no.
그냥 이참에 몰아서 생-
No, no, no. Just get out,
Okay,
flying
we're
bow.
here. Get out.
야, 잠깐만. 아, 근데
I'm gonna get
저
killed.
새끼들 이러도 돼?
I'm gonna get killed, Sam.
너 가면 내
Hurry up.
떼가고 그러는 건 아니지?
Reggie hired him direct.
Oh, they just stopped.
Ran the
Cool.
spec herself.
알았어, 알았다고. 아, 내리면 되잖아. 그리고
So yeah, guys. I don't know if that's insightful. If you're a new player and you're not that good at first-person shooters, you can't hit your headshots, then definitely spec into body. Like, it'll help. Reflex is not that important. You can also use auto aim if you're not that good at headshotting, but I recommend just practice and keep your mouse acceleration turned off in Windows settings, and you'll get better the more you play. But yeah, just to show you the scaling though, that's what I wanted to show you, is how much does character build affect the game difficulty and scaling as long as you keep your weapons upgraded, and I'd say not much. I can even stealth, like you saw me shooting enemies and they weren't aggroing. I can manage to clear whole groups without aggroing.
So I guess he's happy.
Hey,
Closing the gig, sending you the cred.
so let's see here. This moderate group. I'll take these guys out and try not to get detected. I wanted him to hit me.
You're here! I know you are!
Wait, there's enemies here. Okay. Reach. So this is what you can do as a hacker. This is probably the most QOL feature of hacking. Is you can do it from a car. You don't actually need to get out of the car. But this is like my maxed out hacking, like where I've dumped all my points, and this is how quickly, like you saw me killing people in the car park, how quick it is. You're basically cooldown limited and RAM limited, but the RAM you can get back by getting kills. Any other enemies there? Or they all die from that? I should have used a motorbike. Okay, so that was that. I think they ran away. I should have pinged. Ping? Is that it? Yeah, they all died from the contagion. So that was actually pretty strong, but not too different. It actually makes quick hacks more on par with a pistol when you can contagion a group of enemies. And if they're not that close together, it won't be as effective, obviously. How's this turret not shooting at me? Maybe I made it friendly, I thought it was a camera. Alrighty, enough of that. Just quickly sell so you can see the income. Because I've mainly just been keeping the guns, like apart from this, I don't even use that often. I've mainly been just selling anything that isn't iconic, and I don't worry about DPS because DPS is meaningless. It's just the raw white damage that'll help you clear enemies really easily. And yeah, you can see that one-shot damage is much better. Sell all that, and sell. See, that's not even worth it. Like 633 versus getting a mod for damage reduction over time, which rarely ever happens. And the fact that it has good visuals, but I like the default Nomad. That's what I've upgraded it like 3 or 4 times and used. I've wasted components just keeping this thing relevant. And evasion 0.2, that's useless. Just hide behind stuff. That's got good armor, but yeah, level 18, I'm only level 10. Why do I even have that? Yeah. So you can see here how I've been playing. And as well, make sure you sell this stuff. You actually, like, you can sort through here, but I've also been selling all my alcohol because that actually adds up over time. But it'll sell my junk. It's worth 1,500. And then in Quick Hacks as well, you can sell duplicates because they're pointless. And you can also upgrade stuff to sell it, which is worthwhile. But yeah, target analysis, I've already, like, I don't like that because it makes headshots not deal bonus damage. PAX is way better. And threat detector is really good. That's not so important unless you throw a lot of grenades. You can get so many grenades from crafting, it's ridiculous. Like, look at this. I could just chain grenades, and when you throw a grenade, it knocks the enemy over. So that's why I don't use them much, because they're too OP. But basically, yeah, it's like, look how many components I've got from just dismantling all the cheap stuff I find. And if I want to throw a lot of biohazard grenades, it's only one. It's only 1 and 1. I could craft 1,000 of these, and I've just been grinding up to level 10. Like, imagine by the time I get to level 30, how much components I'll have. And if I had, like, levels in my technical, I'd be able to level up crafting already. But yeah, you can see how ridiculous that is. Like, I think I've already got a ton of grenades. I hold Alt. Yeah, 32. It's too many. Like, even having 50 grenades is a lot. And yeah. That's another thing, is I could just throw grenades and take out groups of enemies spamming grenades, because it still does decent damage. Okay. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to share that. This is a long and drawn out video, but if you've been sticking around for my other videos, like if you've watched my other long videos, you'd know that you'd probably expect that by now. And appreciate it. Please like and sub if you enjoyed the content, to see you know what I'm talking about with the damage scaling and difficulty scaling. If I, like, you saw me take out that group on very hard with like no stats dumped into the attributes, the skills, the relevant weapons I was using. Imagine if I just put it to normal, even like if I or hard. Like, hard can't be hard, can it? Because that's going to be easier than what I'm doing. Oh no, it'll reset back to checkpoint. I'll just keep it on very hard, but you know what I mean. Like, if I was playing on a lower difficulty, I definitely would not want it to be any easier than it is now, because the challenge is just gone already. If I simply let myself,
Come on, I was just joking around.
like, see, I've got low stealth. And it's what time of the day? It's 4:34 a.m. There's no like roof walking. Like, I thought noise detection or something, but as long as you're crouched, it is pretty easy to stealth gameplay. So I'll try to take these guys out. Like, this is really basic level hacking that you can do it with a weak cyber deck with no points in hacking. So I'm just demonstrating how easy it is. There was another guy. I'll just ping these guys. What you should do is ping them, actually, to know how many enemies there are. But you can see that...
Fuck this! I'm out!
yeah, this is with level 4 cool. And, you know, I can increase my silenced weapon damage. Increase damage dealt by silenced weapons while sneaking. I can get more powerful. Like, do I even need that? It's weird, man. It's like they just put it there to have the illusion of having choice in character builds, but I'm doing this with no build. Like, just pretend I'm level 10 and I put nothing in it. Well, that's what I've done. I put nothing in any of this. And I'm playing like the same as if I had put points into it. If I had dumped points into cool and reflexes and body, to make myself harder to detect or deal more damage, it's just unnecessary. So I don't know, like we'll see if it scales the same way up at level 20, if something changes, but I doubt it. I doubt being level 20 is going to make this content any... As long as I keep my weapon up to date, which is more of crafting based, it's not really perk based on your weapon damage. Like, I can get a stronger weapon, a stronger handgun without going into reflexes and pumping points into handguns. I don't need any of this. And yeah, that's what I meant by my first comment at the start of the video. It's like, why would I need even more OP-ness? Look at that, crit chance increases by 25% after a headshot. So you'll basically always one-shot people. Recoil by 30%. Crit damage by 20% for 2 points. Multiplier. Yeah. Range damage, 5 meters away by 15%. So the long range shots are gonna hit easier. It's like evasion 25%. That's huge. Damage penalty when shooting from a distance. It removes the damage penalty. Are you serious? So at level 14, if I pump 14 into this, I can get no damage penalty for shooting at long range, which would just make it completely OP. And that's what I mean by they're kind of fluff. Like, they'll make you more powerful, but you don't need them to be more powerful to handle content. And we'll see on the bosses. I've taken Cyber Psychos out like using really novel methods. I didn't have to wallbang them. I literally just threw it for grenades and spammed my pistol at them, and they died. And I also fistfighted one of the Cyber Psychos. There was one that used melee combat. I was able to fistfight them to death. So, yeah, make of it what you will. I just wanted to share that the game itself is heaps fun. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying the game. Just the difficulty curve doesn't really scale that well in terms of the character build options. Like, you're not... Like, I could be more OP if I wanted, but I don't need to be. And if I did, the difficulty curve would just be even easier than what it is now. And that's too much. It's already too much. 81C55. The money's more important, because that's what's let me get a lot of this cyberware. Like, probably the biggest damage boosting cyberware for my pistol is the headshot bonus damage. But you see, if I take that off, when I unequipped it, I was still able to take out the enemies with my pistol in one shot. And I'm just wearing it now because the sake of it. Like, I didn't grind to get it just to not use it. But yeah, I thought that the skill trees would actually, like, I've seen posts about it, like, what's the best build, what's the best attribute. They're all good and they're all OP. Based on my testing, they're all OP. Because you don't need to put points into them to do damage. So, I'll take on one more, just to make sure that it's not some weird... Wait. That was for Rainbow. I'll do one more mission. Let's see here. I wonder if there's a hard job somewhere. High. Very high. Okay, very high. Like, that's the thing though. Even if you're on a really low, because it scales with your level, they just start scaling. The scaling is actually just insane amounts of damage, so you can just accidentally die from 2 stray bullets. But the general damage that you do to them is not going to change. So we'll see. I'll do a very high, and we'll see. I think they'll survive more headshots. That would be about it. But I'm not going to be like dinting them and not doing any damage because I haven't put points in body and reflexes and control. It's not going to save them from me. So, let's see here. It's that way. I won't go very high because that's just like, if I try to imagine it, if it did show character levels, which I wish it did, I think high would be maybe level 15 or 20 while I'm level 10. So 5 or 10 levels above me. And then very high would be like triple my character level, like maybe level 30. That's how I would guess, based on damage scaling in other games. because they do deal like noticeably more damage. Oh, I could get the legs from. Do I want them now? I didn't want to activate this content though. Oh no,
Yes.
doesn't matter
What
if
is
it's
it?
early. It's not going to wreck anything.
You're stuck.
I'm not up to the quest, so there's no pressure on
No.
the chair.
My chrome.
Here.
What does he have? But yeah, you can see here. Oh no, there is some like the slow motion stuff, but that's already OP in itself. But the slow motion stuff and the berserk need your attributes to be high, but the main hacking stuff doesn't. I can wear that now. So as you can see, I haven't been like buying everything I can because I've just been conserving money for particular upgrades. Crit chance by 7%. That's pretty strong. But I'm supposed to be a. I think there's something that can help my quick hacks crit though. That's stronger than that. Okay. Yeah. So there's certain cyberware that can get like is pretty nice to have, and you need higher body, cool, and reflexes to use them. But as you can see, I'm not using them, and it didn't even make a difference. I just get that for fun. I've grinded enough. Yeah, wear 2 of those. I actually found this. It was in like a storage locker, monowire, but I'm not using it because then I can't go back to normal fists. And it's really annoying. Like if I want to hit number 4 and go to a fist fight, it pulls out the monowire. It's kind of frustrating. Like I think you can still select fists if you hold Alt, but I just I don't like having it there. Like you can't uninstall it unless you switch it to a different thing. But yeah, see here, there's no strength requirement, body requirement for gorilla arms. So I just need to get to one more level of street cred, and I can get gorilla arms and open most doors. So yeah, this was a big one though. Fortified ankles would have the hover and lynx pawns, which is useless. Unless you're literally running and not sneaking, then that's the only time it's going to really help. It's weird that it costs more though. I haven't even bought the charge jump yet, but I was gonna buy fortified ankles is what I actually cared about because it reduces your literal fall damage. But I still like the speed of double jump. You can like run and double jump, and while with this you kind of have to. It's a bit clunkier to use for me. You can still reach the same distances and stuff because of the hover, but I find this just more comfortable to use because of platformer games from 1990, 1995. I'll buy this anyway because so I don't have to come back here hunting for it. Just those 2. And 3. Let's see what he's got. Slow rotor. I don't even know what that does. Anywho, let me rub you, dude. I will read all these one day. It would be nice if we could upgrade our armory at the house. What's with all these crayons on the sink? Wow, a mirror that doesn't make me bald. Or is it just the headpiece I'm wearing? Okay, that's enough of this place. Get out of here.
Yes. What is it?
Interest in the purchase of Pacifica products with the aim of constructing a new server and logistics center.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get very far. Oh, see, that's one thing I can't. I need the gorilla arms already. That would just completely save me having to spec into body at all. I get out
Yes.
here.
What is it?
More loot.
It's a beautiful day, huh?
Yeah, so these were like alternative ways in, but I was able to jump in anyway. Didn't really matter. Think I can make it to there? Maybe. This is risky. No! Aww. I should have switched to the other cyberware. I would have made that. Apparently if you float sideways it doesn't help. So I needed to aim for this area. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to find a shortcut to this enemy I was gonna try out on high difficulty. Is there anything up here to loot? Really? Oh, there's like a convenient little bit. But yeah, as you could see how I could just afford to get that cyberware, it's because I focused on making money instead of stats in particular. Oh, what the? It's me. Why is it pointing to there? Is it underground? Sad. Okay, I can't do that yet. I need... I swear it was in that building. What looks like it could go. It's like bugged. That was a waste.
Come back to my place.
Okay, so if I can't do that, I need to go to very high. That might be too hard. I'll just die in one bullet so I can't make any mistakes, but I want to see what my damage is like. I haven't extensively tested the high damage enemies because that's normally just a given. When a game has damage level scaling and the content is very high, it just means that they're like way higher than your actual level, and so it's supposed to be unrealistic, but unrealistic to beat them. But the main point I was trying to make out is that at moderate difficulty, if I haven't spec'd into fists, I shouldn't be able to punch enemies to death very easily. It should be take many punches. My punches are just really strong. I'll just drive. And you also need body to... You also need body to hijack cars, but you can just shoot the door and they help out. You shoot the door enough times. So yes, I think there was like a guide saying you need body to steal cars. You can just shoot the doors, and most people will hop out. Some will drive away if you're not standing in front of them. But yeah, there is a little bit of AI. Like they will run away if you literally fire your gun at their door. Why is this so far away? I'm going to the wrong one. What the heck? I have to highlight it. Sorry guys. Check out this car. My FPS stability while driving fast. CPU bound. GPU bound. Both. I'm at 99% on GPU as well. What is that? Was that hard enemies? Just around this corner? Where? I swear I saw it over here. Yes, this is a heart. Okay. Save. I'm gonna go in and just not even use anything past breach and ping. 7A. More than one there. Okay, yeah, so that did barely any damage. So this guy should destroy me as long as I don't get shot by his friends behind him. This guy should destroy me, right? So this is the OP rifle. I just want to get rid of 2 of them. I don't care, these 2 at the front I'll get rid of. I weapon glitch because I want to fight them in close combat, but it doesn't do damage to them. Okay, let's see what this guy does. He's going to shoot me. I think he is. I can't really get around this. I'll use my pistol. You can see, yeah, he's actually able to tank damage because he's higher level, so he's got more HP. That's the main. Maybe he's got more armor. I don't know if the armor is really scaling properly. See if he kills me in one hit.
Finally, someone I can fucking fight.
Oh, he's glitched up. Oh no, wait, there he goes. He was fooling me. Yeah, see, that's still pretty good damage, even though I've got nothing in handguns. Might take a few more shots, but compared to one-shotting him, but I guess this is where the only challenge is left. Oh, see, that did a bit of damage. It's like maybe 4 of those bullets would kill me. Now, let's see here. Weapon glitch.
Finally, someone I can.
I might die here. I'm going to try rushing him with my fists, just to see what my fist damage is like, if I can reach him in time. Because it doesn't last long on... Yeah, he's really strong. Oh, come on.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, see, I don't have miles of stamina that I should be able to kind of lock him like this. I did weapon glitch him though, so that could his gun is not so accurate. But yeah, I'm still doing pretty good damage. This is what I expected it to be like. This is what moderate should be like when you haven't spec'd into body for higher fist damage. Like that's what I wanted moderate enemies to be like. I expected that having nothing pumped into body would have done that. But yeah, I guess I have to fight. What was he? Was he high? Very high. Skull. He was Skull, so you know, level 50 or something like that. And his friends, I just use the cheapo tech rifles that aren't locked behind any particular wall. They're locked behind a level wall, that's all. Like, they're not locked behind anything. Like, the wall penetration is not locked behind a perk. Being able to use them should be locked behind a perk. Like, you should have to get, like, level 15, or maybe even level 18 to use tech rifles. And you can just use tech pistols early, because the penetration is not as high. I think it's still pretty high, but yeah, I don't know. They'll probably patch it. I'm hoping they'll patch it and balance some things that should have been balanced on release, but you know, they were rushed. Blah blah. But thanks for watching, guys, and please like and sub if you found this informative, that you don't actually need to worry so much. Like, you can enjoy whatever build you want, and at least you know the main differences, like with the doors unlocking and basically, yeah, what doors you can open, and making money with hacking. They're the big differences for me. I don't feel the combat's a big deal. I could get a katana and do exactly what I showed you, as long as the katana is upgraded, and it's not like a low-level katana. I could katana people to death the same way I was punching the dude. It would actually be stronger though, because the katanas can scale higher. Like, I can't upgrade my fists with that gorilla. But if I did go and equip gorilla fists, I could probably take out very hard enemies easily as well. So yeah, that's all there is to report, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.